The Duke of York appeared at Easter. This is the Easter Sunday service. He's not a working royal. He's been banished from all proper royal official events, but he can attend family engagements such as this. There is a lot of talk that maybe this is an effort for him to put himself back into the limelight, to have a return. What's your thoughts on Duke of York?
The trouble about with Prince Andrew is that he has become this figure that everybody is incredibly rude about. I mean, he's the butt of every comedian's jokes. I mean, nobody wants him. But of course he's allowed to go to family events. And so he obviously would have attended and did attend, you know, his parents' funerals, memorial services. He attended the coronation of his brother. That was perhaps slightly more prominent, but of course he should go to church. In fact, I think he would be criticised if he didn't. So, and he went to Easter service last year as well, but obviously the dear media didn't have very much to think about. So they speculate a lot about these matters. No, he's just going to church with his ex-wife and his two daughters and their husbands. They were a little family team, all there at Windsor. Why not? Well,
this is the first time that he's attended something in public. I mean, it's semi-public.
Actually, no, he was there the preprevious year as well.
No, I mean it was the first time that he's appeared in public since the whole spy drama, because he didn't go to Christmas.
Ah, yes, so that's another thing. But we don't. I mean, please remember that Prince Andrew has never been found guilty of anything at all. It's a lot of speculation. Yeah. So should he just disappear? I mean, he's as good as disappeared. He's not going to come back into public life. Nobody wants it. Wouldn't be advantageous. So he's basically in retirement. But he should certainly go to church on Easter Sunday. And indeed, I can even see a possibility that people would say, well, why is he shirking going to church? You know, which his brother's Supreme Governor of the Church of England. He should be there. And I actually was there on Sunday, so he was absolutely welcome to be with his family. There were 16 members of the royal family in the chapel.
I didn't make it on Sunday myself. I've been previously, when pointed out last year when Andrew was there. He was also there at the King Constantine memorial service.
Yes.
But you were there. What do you think of his behaviour? Because we were talking about this in the office, and we were looking at the pictures and the videos that we had. We couldn't make out whether he seemed to be enjoying himself, or he was happy to be there, or whether he felt like he was uncomfortable being at the Easter service. What was your opinion?
Somebody called out Happy Easter to him and he looked very surprised. Well, why shouldn't he have a Happy Easter, poor man? I mean, he's just become this sort of butt for everything, which I think is very unpleasant. You know, I mean, he is a man who is very much down on his luck, and it's not going to change. Despite all the contrary evidence of things like with Virginia Giuffre being proven to be not entirely truthful, you know, it doesn't seem to make any difference for Prince Andrew at all. He's always maintained his innocence on those matters and has never been proved guilty of anything.
Once again, Prince Andrew's name is making waves, but not the kind he wants. As discussions swirl about whether the Duke of York could ever return to public life, insiders close to Buckingham Palace say there's one firm obstacle standing in his way: the future King and Queen, William and Kate. The royal couple have made their stance crystal clear. Andrew's royal career is over, permanently. After his disastrous BBC interview and the Epstein scandal that rocked the monarchy, Prince Andrew became persona non grata. The late Queen may have shown him maternal mercy, but William and Kate, they see no place for Andrew in the modern monarchy. Royal aides reveal that any talk of a comeback infuriates the Prince and Princess of Wales, who view it as a betrayal of the public's trust. The palace knows bringing Andrew back would ignite a PR nightmare. According to sources close to Kensington Palace, William has taken a no-nonsense approach to his uncle's ambitions. He reportedly told advisers, "There's no way back, not under my watch." For William, it's about protecting the monarchy's integrity, not family feelings. His view is simple: if Andrew is seen shaking hands at royal events again, the public's faith in the institution could collapse even further. Behind the scenes, Kate plays a vital role in reinforcing that stance. She believes the monarchy must represent dignity, service, and moral strength, values deeply damaged by Andrew's past. Her growing power within the firm means her voice carries weight. Insiders whisper that Kate's influence ensures Andrew's name stays far from any royal duty list.
Reputationally, it's been a very long few years of him. You know, there's been some very questionable judgment that's occurred all the way through. And I'm not even talking about back to the Virginia Giuffre. I'm talking about, you know, ties with people, including these allegations, the alleged Chinese spy, things like that. But to the broader point, rather than getting into the weeds on all of that, I was going to say, when it comes down to it, you're looking at, with Prince Andrew's involvement in these things, okay, is it a royal family matter or is it a royal business matter? And the reality is they are a family, but of course it is a business, and it is crucial that all of the team and everyone that's on display publicly is in line with what the king wants. Now, obviously he has, the king, I mean to say, the king clearly agrees that Prince Andrew should be at these family occasions. I do definitely understand that argument as well, because it is a family matter. In terms of larger scale events, I don't think there's any appetite from the public for him to return. I can't imagine that the king or Prince William or any of the other senior royals would agree that he should return to public duty. I think that's a matter that's been laid to rest, particularly as there was a YouGov poll last month that showed that 89% of Britons view him unfavourably, which is just truly enormous numbers. So I think when it comes to these things, there's always going to be a matter of the dust being kicked up on Prince Andrew about what should be his future. But surely it has been agreed, even with the royal family, and I would imagine even with Prince Andrew at this point, that he is retired from royal duties, but he will just continue to take part in family events.
We are, we have intelligent viewers watching this show, and all three of us, have been reporting on the royals for many years. So we know the difference between, an official royal engagement and a family engagement. So the optics on him attending Easter, there are people that see this. They see him attending what is a big press event. There's lots of TV cameras there. There's lots of family members there. They see it as bad optics, that it looks like he's trying to ingratiate himself back into the royal family.
That's what they want to see, of course.
Well, I will say this. The photo of Prince William driving Prince Andrew to church, I think it was the first summer break at Balmoral after the late Queen had died. And I understood why Andrew was there for that. Of course, that's a family occasion, and not only a family occasion, a very emotional and significant one. But those images do stay in your mind when you have someone who's as reputationally damaged as Prince Andrew, and you see the heir to the throne, who was extremely popular, driving him and the two of them there together. People are going to see that, and that stays with them. The fact that I've just recalled it as we're talking about it instantly, I think that there is an element of that to it, where you do have to be very careful of the optics, because it's a business. The monarchy is an institution that needs to continue to survive, and its reputation is very important. So, look. I know there's a lot of layers to this one.
What about a little bit of human compassion on Easter Sunday, showing that he's still on good terms with his immediate family? Well, we saw them chatting with each other perfectly happily.
But as you've said, we can distinguish. We, of course, know the official engagements. And I do think, as I said, that with family occasions, that comes down to King Charles making the decision to include his brother. And I can understand that. I think that's the human compassion element. But beyond that, I think there is a very fine line where they need to continue to be careful that they're towing the line of the optics, so that...
But he also has never said anything in public. When he was asked to step down, he meekly and quietly stepped down.
Yeah. And with her ever-growing popularity, no one dares challenge her quiet authority. Every time Andrew's name resurfaces, the palace's communications team goes into overdrive. The royal brand is about stability and trust, two things Andrew's reputation destroyed. Even the mention of him representing the crown makes sponsors and Commonwealth leaders uneasy. The message is loud and clear: Andrew is too toxic, and the risks are too high. So what does Andrew do now? Exiled from royal duties, stripped of titles, and shunned by public opinion, he's confined to the quiet halls of Royal Lodge, desperately trying to cling to relevance. But as one royal expert notes, the more he tries to reappear, the more the palace will push him back into the shadows. Even Charles, known for his forgiving nature, knows the damage a single photo op could cause. The public has spoken. Andrew's era is over. William and Kate aren't just heirs, they're the monarchy's safeguard. And they know that Andrew's past will always haunt him, and by extension, the royal family. Their decision to keep him away from the spotlight isn't cruelty, it's strategy. Because as the next generation of royals rise, there's no room for the ghosts of scandals past. Prince Andrew may hope for redemption, but the firm has moved on. The monarchy is future-focused, and that future belongs to William and Kate. For Andrew, the door to public duty isn't just closed, it's locked, sealed, and buried in the royal archives forever.
It's a really interesting point here, because not many people come out in support of Prince Andrew. I'm not saying you're coming out in support of Prince Andrew, but you're giving the line that maybe it is a time for forgiveness, maybe it is a time for stop creating controversy every time he shows his face at a family event. Yes,
my feeling really was that the press didn't have enough to talk about on that occasion. The Waleses weren't there because they were spending their, weekend in Norfolk. Had the little kids been there would have no doubt been a lot of focus on that. I think it's all ridiculous, to be quite honest. I think he should be perfectly. He goes to St George's Chapel from time to time for other events, very quietly, and why shouldn't he?
Let's just quickly on William and Catherine then.
Yes.
As you pointed out, they were in Norfolk. There were no pictures. There was no video of them. There were press, there were members of the public at Mary Magdalene Church outside Sandringham, but we didn't actually see them there, but they had a private Easter service away from the royal family. Do we read anything into that, or am I guilty of, of trying to stoke controversy within the media?
I have huge sympathy for Prince William and his family. I mean, Prince William, one of the problems about being Prince of Wales is you never know when you're going to become king. If your father is ill, still having treatment 14 months later, that becomes more acute. As you rightly say, his wife has also been ill, and we don't know how ill, but she has obviously been very ill at one point. He also has a small family, and then he has all the other things that princes of Wales have to think about that you and I don't have to think about. And so he has many, many things on his plate, and if he wants to spend a quiet weekend with his family in Norfolk, good for him.
I think as well, this has been you can't imagine that there will be another opportunity for William and Catherine moving forward to have a reset and to really rebalance what they're going to be doing. And I think that this is a really good example of that. Last year, obviously, they weren't taking part in Easter because Catherine was sick. But this year, they do have the opportunity to have a quieter family Easter. They're not obligated to attend. And as a result, because there is so much public sympathy for what they've been through, and they're wanting to have more private time as a family, I think it's a really good opportunity where they're now able to draw it all back and actually just opt in on opportunities that they want to going forward. I think that's been something that I've noticed over the last few months. I think it's going to be a little bit more carefully selected.
I think that Prince William's quite often criticised for not doing enough royal duties. I mean, I've heard that said. But actually, I think, he is the modern father. He's very hands-on. They do a lot of school runs, they go to school matches, they spend a lot of time with those children. Surely we have to commend that, don't we?